I hope you're keeping up with your daily questions. When learning any new skill, a few minutes a day is more useful than skipping 5 days and then trying to cram on the weekends. Let's move on to question number 3. I will blank by another blank. You can see this is a 2-part question. So what does it even mean? You could write something like this. I'll make today a totally wonderful day where I'm grateful for all my blessings. You could write that. Maybe that works for some people, but it doesn't really change that much from day to day, and it doesn't take into account the first 2 questions. The question number 3 is designed as the third in a series, so let's look at it in that context. In question 1, you identified how you're feeling and a probable cause. In question 2, you identified how you plan to respond to that situation. If you're in a positive place, you'll leverage it. If you're in a negative place, you'll correct course. And now the third step is to set your destination. The destination is your intention for the current day. Here's an analogy. Step 1, you identify the problem in your home. It's a leaky faucet due to an old washer. Step number 2, you select the best tool for the problem, in this case a wrench and a new washer. And step number 3, you state your intention for the desired outcome. I'll stop the leak by using my experience and the proper tools. I'll start at lunch and finish in an hour, and the leak will be totally gone. Now I'm going to ignore my actual experience in this example, which has a 4th step, call the plumber to fix the mess I've made. Let me run through those steps briefly one more time. Step 1, identify the issue and the cause. Step 2, identify the appropriate response. Step 3, identify the intention and the outcome. Writing down your intention for an outcome plants the idea into your subconscious, and it will increase the odds you'll follow through and succeed. Now let's look at one of the examples I mentioned in an earlier video. I feel frazzled because it feels like I'm losing control every day. My inbox is flooded, my project is late, every task requires twice the effort it should, and I label this as basic overwhelm. In question 2 of this example, I said, my response will be to determine if this is a short-term or a long-term situation and have a slightly different solution for each one. Well, let's assume it was determined it's a long-term issue. In that case, you might fill in question 3 like this. I will make today zero-based fresh start by scaling back and determining one single priority versus multitasking 12 items and stressing myself out. After my first priority item is complete, I'll work on a longer-term plan to resolve this chronic overload. Now, sometimes you'll fill in question 3 with concrete actions, like that example. Other times you'll describe an attitude adjustment or maybe just a new perspective you need to take. What you need varies day by day. That's the beauty of the open-ended questions. It's flexible enough to address almost any situation. In the Clarity course, I'll go over many other examples and scenarios. If you've been following along and have completed your question 1 and 2, go ahead and complete question 3 now and put that into your journal.